So I've been doing a lot of reading and writing and thinking lately about being on the outside and feeling like you don't belong. And so this piece is an older piece that I had written before, and I've been reworking it because kind of keeping that in mind, because the feeling of not belonging, I think, takes a lot of different forms and manifests itself in different ways. And in this particular reading, this essay is describing some of the feelings that center around being at least twice as old, sometimes 3 times as old as my fellow classmates. And this particular story was from a Fresno State swim class that I took called KAC 103. And just a quick thing that you need to know, there was a young woman I swam with named Julie. We all kind of hung out together and swam together in the same lane, and she gave this group of women and I all nicknames: Tuna, Catfish, and she called me Ariel because I was always underwater flipping around like a mermaid instead of swimming laps like I was supposed to be doing. So I think that's all you need to know. One day I walked into the locker room late, so everyone had already changed and gone to the pool. I put my suit on quickly and walked across the slippery tile, being careful not to slip and fall, fearful of having to cry out those dreaded words, "I've fallen and I can't get up." As soon as I opened the door to the pool area, Julie threw something at me. It was a blue cap. "Put it on, Ariel. You're on our team." "Team? What team?" "We're playing water polo today." She jerked her head to where a bunch of people wearing white caps were huddled. "We're going to get our asses kicked." Apparently, all the former water polo players had gotten together and formed the white team, leaving us amateurs to don the blue caps and a spirit of defeat. The white team was laughing and slapping one another on the back. We stood silent. I fiddled with the cap. It had round plastic ear covers and a strap that pulled closed under my chin. I put it on and looked at Julie. "Backwards," she said. "You put it on backwards." "Oh God," Tuna groaned, "we're dead." "Dead in the water, as the saying goes," Julie added. So I am a disastrous failure at sports, any sport. I never played on any teams after I had humiliated myself by tripping and falling through 6th grade basketball. The one exception to this is powder puff football for girls, and I wasn't any good. I don't know why I signed up for it. I suppose I just wanted to be part of something, wanted that team camaraderie I'd enviously watched other people enjoy. But I wasn't at all competitive in powder puff football, and if anyone wanted to get past me, I just let them, even though I played defensive tackle. Our swim teacher blew her whistle, and we jumped in. We were sent to our respective sides of the pool, and she threw in the ball. The white team rushed forward and immediately seized it. There was a lot of thrashing around, and in the middle of the commotion, I saw that we did have a few blue caps in there, and one of them had the ball. This was encouraging. I courageously swam towards the action. Suddenly, the ball flipped out of someone's grasp and flew directly at me. I felt a little ribbon of dread rise up in me, and my mind began to race. Oh boy, I was thinking, here it is. The ball. I need to do something with it. White-capped swimmers were quickly approaching. I panicked. I grabbed the floating ball and held it tight. I looked around. The plastic goal with the tattered net was right behind me. I kicked my legs hard to lift myself up from the water a little, and with my best effort threw the ball. It went straight into the net, dead center. I was elated. I looked around to see my teammates and saw Julie. She was shaking her head. Some guy in a white cap hovering near me said, "Nice shot, wrong basket." The swim teacher, chuckling to herself, reached in and retrieved the ball. "Yeah, you'll want to pay attention to where your team's goal is." From a few feet away, I heard Haley's voice. "Are you kidding me? What an idiot! Who let her play?" Then she broke out into waves of wicked laughter. I felt that old feeling come up, humiliation. It was still in there from 6th grade. Suddenly I couldn't remember why I had taken this swim class and was certain everyone was looking at me, wondering the same thing. Julie swam up to me. "Hey, Ariel, don't let Ursula over there get you." I know what you're thinking. Comparing a fellow student to a huge, evil, and monstrous octopus cartoon woman isn't very nice, and you're right, it isn't. But I have to say that in that moment, the comparison was strikingly accurate. I looked over at Haley. She stretched her long, thick arm out and snatched the ball from midair, while at the same time using her powerful leg to shove an approaching swimmer out of her way. Catfish, Tuna, Julie, and I were all treading water together, watching as Haley dominated the pool. "She's amazing," I said in wonder. "She's a bitch," Julie replied. Tuna, a slight red-haired girl with a soft voice, summed it all up. "She's an amazing bitch. She scares the It took a while for my humiliated feeling to diminish, and it was still lingering in me when the ball came to me yet again. I saw the hesitation on the guy's face before he tossed me the ball. I believed I was reading his thoughts. Oh God, not the old lady. Not the old lady that threw it in the wrong net. But there was no one else around, so he chucked it at me and I caught it. This time I played it safe and lobbed it over to Catfish, who threw it to another teammate who slammed it into the net. This boosted my confidence a bit, and I slowly began participating in earnest. I discovered something about myself that day. While I'm not a very good aim, and my arms are usually too short to catch the ball, I am really good at getting the ball away from other people. And once I have it, it's pretty hard to get it away from me. I might not have excelled in organized sports, but I have raised 4 kids, and we are a family of wrestlers. Our living room wrestling matches are intense. I dominated my son until he was about 12, at which point the tables turned and he began to triumph over me with zeal. Our wrestling episodes are short on mercy. Only injuries involving blood or tears put a stop to the battle. Who would have thought that this family oddity would come in so handy? Again and again, I came in and grabbed the ball, then held on despite many attempts by opposing players to wrestle it from me. My husband informed me at the dinner table that night that in real water polo, you don't grapple with the ball and pull people underwater. But I assure you, in KAC 103, you do. I held on to that ball and would not let it go until I could safely hand it to a teammate who would then get it into the net. Julie swam up next to me laughing. "Damn, Ariel, you're a badass. Who knew?" But all this time, I had successfully avoided Haley. I tried approaching her once, and she spun around in the water and nailed me with a glare. "Doubt it, you little pissant," she spit at me. I backed off. I doubted it too. With 10 minutes left to go in the class, the blue and white teams were tied. I would have been happy to end it right there. I was goofing off with Julie. She was grabbing my ankle and flipping me over just for the fun of it, when she suddenly stopped and pointed. The action had moved close to where we were, and there was Haley, her arm pitched back to keep the ball safe. But it wasn't safe, because it was just inches away from my grasp. I shot a look at Julie and then lunged. I had the ball. Immediately, I folded both arms around it and looked for my teammates. Julie was just a few feet away, waving her arms. Just as I was about to send it to her, I was hit from the side by the full force of Ursula. She wrapped her tentacles around the ball and pulled. I held tighter. She placed her foot on my hip and shoved. I flew back several feet, but I still had the ball. I swam hard, my little legs pumping frantically. A few feet from Julie, my left calf cramped up so bad I literally lost the use of my leg. I tossed the ball to Tuna, who gave it a Hail Mary pass into the net. I could hear screaming and laughing as Julie grabbed my arm and pulled me to the side of the pool where I could hang on. My calf was still cramping up pretty badly. I couldn't even straighten it out, but it hardly mattered. We had beaten the white team by 1 point, and I limped into the locker room that day with my arms across the shoulders of my teammates, and for one moment, I was unmistakably a part of that world.